name is Ismael Jimenez. I am running for Vice President of High Schools. I have wanted to become an educator since the time I can remember. When I was attending a school in the suburbs in 4th grade, I used to have a stuttering problem and raised my hand to answer the question one day, and the teacher just started asking me the question, and I started speaking, but I started stuttering, and the class heard it and started laughing at me. And the teacher's like, "Oh, don't mind him, his people talk like that." Since my father is Puerto Rican and Dominican and my mother was black, I didn't really fully understand what she meant by that. Went home, told my parents, the school got called, it was made a big deal, but then a librarian handed me her original 1965 copy of the autobiography of Malcolm X. And after reading that in 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, I read it so many times I can't even remember. It infused within me a sense of justice, a sense of urgency about what we're facing in our world today, and the need to speak up and not to be quiet. So as I grew up, I started to just get more and more and more involved in history and the local things happening around my community, social activism, and that definitely motivates me to be the best educator I can be every single day. Before I started teaching for the School District of Philadelphia, I was able to work in a child care for women and children in transitional housing. And that experience exposed me to the underbelly of what our students face, what we face in our classrooms, what we face as a collective community, the beloved community, Martin Luther King would say. And it allowed me to develop a deeper understanding before I even got inside the classroom in Philadelphia. So as I entered the classroom in Philadelphia, I had a deeper understanding of which angle I want to head in as an educator. The thing that inspired me to join the caucus was the people, the conversations, the relationships that I have developed with my fellow colleagues all across the district, the camaraderie and the sense of sharing ideals, but also values that extend well beyond our classrooms and into our lives, into our beings. And when I met the people who are involved in the caucus and got involved in reading the world together through book clubs, it just inspired me right there, and was like, this is what I've been waiting to be involved in. Ever since I can remember, I always try to find the right thing that would make the biggest impact, that would influence a deeper vision that I have personally for our society and for public education in Philadelphia. And since my son goes to Philadelphia Public Schools, I felt the even much more need to be involved in this endeavor. The thing that inspires me to run for PFT leadership is the necessity for our union to be the strong force that it should be. The numbers that we represent is the largest public union in Philadelphia, and also the second largest union in the state. And there's no reason our power isn't being pushed towards that direction. And that is what inspires me, because there is no other time but now. My strengths as a leader entail not just my passion, because I am very passionate, but my understanding of kind of the struggles our students go through, especially high school students. It's very easy to get lost, and I believe that I almost was there. And coming out of that and reflecting back, I realized that gives me a better way to even approach our students, understand the challenges our teachers face and the angles on how to approach those, and come up with valid, viable solutions to these issues and contradictions as they appear. Another strength I bring is an insatiable appetite for learning. Ever since I can remember, I've always just been soaking up what I learn like a sponge. Although I didn't do good at school when I was, a little child, I still read every day. I still asked teacher questions. I still challenged my friends' assumptions, my own assumptions. And, I would like to think that I bring that as a leader, and also creating the conditions for people to talk about issues that aren't normally talked about but need to be addressed in our society and in our schools. My vision for the PFT is that the PFT would operate as a conduit for professionalizing or reprofessionalizing teaching practices and our profession. Also, to be a force socially and politically within our city to influence change and to hold off the tide of neoliberal deform. We are as strong as we choose to be. And the faster we realize that, the faster we can turn the tide. I want to say thank you for taking the time out to listen to me and hearing my vision and my strengths as a leader and my background. And I look forward to working with everybody.